Ireland and Middle-earth, two worlds, one real, one imagined, separated by time, geography and myth, though perhaps they're not as distant as they seem. At the heart of this connection lies Tory Island, a remote outpost off Ireland's northwest coast, a place steeped in legend, mystery and ancient power. It is here that we find echoes of J.R.R. Tolkien's dark realm of Mordor and the towering figure of Sauron himself. Could the legends of Tory Island have inspired one of literature's greatest villains? To find out, we must journey into the past, where Celtic myths meet Christian tradition, and uncover the story of Balor of the Evil Eye, a tyrant whose story bears an uncanny resemblance to the villain in Tolkien's masterpiece. Stay connected if you want to find out more, and please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you would like to discover more curious connections around the world. Tory Island is no ordinary place. Perched on the edge of Europe, battered by Atlantic winds and home to just over 140 people, it feels like a fragment of another world. Isolated yet fiercely independent, the island has preserved traditions long lost elsewhere in Ireland. Tory Island remains one of the few places where Irish, the native Celtic language of Ireland, is still spoken as a first language. And in a tradition rooted in centuries of lore, the island even elects its own King of Tory. The most recent king, Patsy Dan Rogers, was a beloved figure who welcomed visitors to Tory and kept the island's spirit alive from the 1990s until his passing in 2018. But Tory's most haunting legacy lies in its myths. At the heart of these tales stands Balor of the Evil Eye. In Irish mythology, Balor was a fearsome giant and leader of the Fomorians, a race of supernatural beings said to have ruled the island long ago. Known as Balor of the Evil Eye, he possessed a single monstrous eye so powerful it could slay entire armies with a single glance. His fortress, Dún Valor, loomed over Tory's cliffs, a site that can still be visited today, surrounded by 90-metre-high sea cliffs on three sides. Yet despite his might, Balor lived in a fear of a prophecy. One day his own grandson would rise to kill him. To defy fate, he locked his daughter away in a high tower, ensuring she could never bear children. But destiny, as always, had other plans. Enter Lugh, Balor's grandson and eventual nemesis, a hero of light and skill who fulfilled the prophecy by hurling a stone straight into Balor's deadly eye. Sounds familiar? The parallels between Balor and Sauron, the Dark Lord of the Lord of the Rings, are striking. A single flaming eye, a towering fortress, and a downfall foretold by prophecy. Tolkien's works bear unmistakable echoes of many ancient traditions, from Norse sagas and Anglo-Saxon poetry to Celtic myth. He famously remarked that Celtic myth is a magic bag into which anything may be put and out of which almost anything may come. While Tolkien himself never made direct references linking figures like Lugh and Balor to the characters of Frodo and Sauron in his books, the timeless struggle in The Lord of the Rings between heroic light and oppressive darkness resonates with familiar motifs found in Celtic legend, such as the legend of Balor of the Evil Eye. Though Tolkien drew more deeply from Germanic and Norse sources, the mythic spirit of the Celtic world lingers beneath the surface, shaping the tone and texture of Middle-earth. Even the landscape of Tory Island echoes the dark realm of Mordor. On Uckervor, the Big Key, is a long, steep-sided spur jutting from the east side of the island. At its end lies on Tor Mor, or Big Rock, surrounded by jagged pinnacles known as Saiguri Valor, Balor's soldiers. From above, the formation looks like a toothed fortress rising from the sea, a sight that wouldn't feel out of place in Middle-earth. But what makes Tory Island truly remarkable isn't just its mythology, it's the eerie tales that linger in its oral tradition. One such tale is that of An Mór Heisir, which translates to the Big Six. According to legend, these 7 travellers, 6 men and 1 woman, drowned when their boat capsized near the island. They were buried together, but each morning the woman's body was found unearthed, forcing the islanders to rebury her separately. Clay from her grave is said to have the power to ward off vermin, a belief that has endured through generations. Tory's waters have long been unforgiving. Among the many vessels claimed by the sea was HMS Vignor, which sank in 1915, with all 295 crew lost. Wreckage and bodies washed ashore, adding to the island's long history of maritime tragedy. Even stranger, a defused World War II torpedo once washed ashore, and still sits today between An Bhaile Hir and An Bhaile Chur, 2 of the island's 4 settlements. But not all of Tory's stories are born of darkness. Some are steeped in faith. In the 6th century, St. Columcille, one of Ireland's most influential missionaries, founded a monastery here. According to legend, he miraculously crossed the sea on foot to reach Tory, leaving behind a spiritual legacy that endures to this day. A rare 12th century Tau cross, one of only 2 remaining in Ireland, still stands on the island. And nearby, the bell tower, believed to be part of Columkille's original monastery, is the last surviving structure from that era, having endured centuries of conflict, including English military campaigns that led to its destruction in 1595. Whether or not Tory Island directly influenced Mordor, it remains a place where legend and reality intertwine, an island of prophecy, mystery and history. So, the next time you look upon Middle-earth's dark realm, remember the windswept cliffs of Tory Island, the towering fortress of Balor, the whispers of prophecy, and the rugged terrain that mirrors Tolkien's imagined land. Perhaps, just perhaps, the connections are closer than they seem.